than 9 blocks away. Northern Trust sat on Front Street in downtown Traverse City, between a fudge shop and a bookstore, in a brick building from 1908. The front door had a brass handle worn smooth by 100 years of hands. I went in. The lobby was warm. The floor was old marble, gray with dark blue veins. A small artificial Christmas tree in the corner near the teller windows. The place smelled faintly of cinnamon candle. 2 tellers were on duty. One of them, a woman in her 40s with reading glasses on a chain, looked up as I crossed the lobby in my wool socks and my gray sweater and my purple bruised collarbone. She did not flinch. She smiled, professionally. I respected her for that. I set the business card on the counter. "My grandfather gave me this," I said. "I think there might be an account." She looked at the card. She looked at the back. She looked at my face for a half-second longer than she needed to. Then she picked up the desk phone, pressed a single button, and spoke into it quietly. "Yes. One moment, please." She hung up. "Mr. Pemberton is coming out to meet you personally," she said. "Would you like a glass of water?" I said yes. 40 seconds later, a man in his early 60s walked out of a corner office. He wore a brown cardigan with a worn-down patch on the right shoulder. My grandfather had owned the same cardigan. He stopped about 10 feet from me. "Miss Farrell," he said. It was not a question. He was confirming something. "Yes. Please, come with me. Bring the box." I had not mentioned the box. He had not seen it. He looked at the canvas tote I was carrying it in, and turned without waiting for me to answer. His office was at the back. Wooden desk. I recognized the desk immediately. My grandfather had built it. There was a photograph on the wall to the right. 2 men in fishing waders on a dock at Higgins Lake. One of them was Dale, 20 years younger. The other was my grandfather. Dale stepped past me, closed the office door, turned the lock, and walked to the window and pulled the blinds down one by one. Then he sat across from me and folded his hands on the walnut desk. "Miss Farrell, your grandfather has been waiting for this day for 9 years. I have been waiting with him." He opened the bottom drawer. He took out a navy blue folder. The cardboard cover was soft at the edges from age. On the front, in my grandfather's handwriting, "For Amber. Hold until she comes in." He set the folder on the desk between us. "Miss Farrell, sit down. What I'm about to show you is going to change everything your family just did to you. Your grandfather didn't just leave you a key. He left you a way to destroy them from the grave, quietly, and on paper." He laid a manila envelope next to the folder. "Open the box first," he said. "Show me." I set the walnut box on the desk and lifted the lid. He looked at the 4 objects inside. He smiled at the key the way you smile at a face you've known for 30 years. He reached across, took the key in his fingers, and held it up to the office light. "He carried that on his belt loop for 43 years, he said. "He had a copy made in 2016. He gave the copy to me. He gave the original to you. He told me, Dale, when she walks in carrying that key, you stop whatever you're doing. You take her to the office, you close the door, and you tell her the truth. So that's what I'm doing." He set the key down. "This is the front door key of 818 Cherry Bend Road, Miss Farrell. Your house." The room tipped slightly. Not a metaphor. Dale must have seen it, because he reached across the desk and put one hand flat over the back of mine. "Take your time," he said. I did. He pushed the navy folder toward me. He opened it to the first page. A photocopy. Notarized. Holloway Family Revocable Living Trust. Grantor, Roy Holloway. Successor trustee, Dale Pemberton. Sole beneficiary, Amber Lynn Farrell. The signature was my grandfather's. The date was August 8, 2016. 63 days after my mother had slapped me in the backyard. Dale spent the next 35 minutes walking me through the file the way you walk a child through the rules of a board game. He did not use legal jargon. He explained each document like he was talking to his own granddaughter. "In August of 2016, he said, Your grandfather walked into Crestwood and Associates 3 blocks from here. He asked Helen Crestwood one question. He said, "Can I put my house in my granddaughter's name without my daughter ever knowing?" Helen told him yes. He came back the following Tuesday with a cashier's check and a contractor's pencil he had brought from his shop, because he didn't like the pens she had in her office. He signed it with the pencil, and then she made him sign it again in pen. He told me that part himself. He laid out the deed transfer. As of August 9, 2016, the property was no longer in your grandfather's name. It was in the name of the Holloway Family Revocable Living Trust. Your grandfather retained a life estate, the right to live in the home until the day he died. But the underlying title belonged to the trust, and the trust belonged to you. He turned the page. When he died on October 11, 2024, the trust automatically converted from revocable to irrevocable. The deed transferred to you by operation of law. No probate, no court, no daughter ever needed to know. He turned another page. Your parents have been living in your house for 14 months without paying you rent. He let that sit between us. He turned another page. Pod account. Northern Trust. Opened March 15, 2020. Sole beneficiary on death. Amber Lynn Farrell. Balance at time of grantor's death, $86,000. Payable on death account. Your name on the beneficiary line. The day he died, this account became yours. He told me when he opened it that this money was for the repairs. The roof has another 2 winters in it. The gutters need replacing. He didn't want you stretched. He showed me a ledger. He came in every spring of the last 4 years and added to it. Always cash. Small bills. He told me he saved it from cabinet commissions he didn't tell your grandmother about. The last deposit was $4,000. August 2024. 2 months before he went into the hospital. The note he had asked Dale to enter. For the year she'll need it. I had to look up at the ceiling for a few seconds. When I looked down again, Dale had opened the manila envelope. 3 pages. Northern Trust letterhead. A small stamp at the bottom right of each. D. Pemberton, Branch MGR. The first page was dated November 14, 2024. 8 days after the funeral. Cheryl Farrell appeared at Branch requesting release of father's accounts to next of kin. Informed account holder did not name her as beneficiary. Left agitated. The second was dated May 22, 2025. Cheryl Farrell appeared with certified copy of birth certificate, requesting rightful inheritance reversal. Informed beneficiary designation is irrevocable. Left agitated. The third was dated September 3, 2025. Cheryl Farrell appeared with husband Brad Farrell, requesting meeting to discuss family hardship. Beneficiary designation cannot be contested without legal cause. Brad raised voice. Cheryl stated at exit. She doesn't even know. She doesn't deserve to know. I read that line 3 times. She came to you 3 times, I said quietly, trying to take it. Yes. And you never told me. Your grandfather's instructions were that I was not to contact you. He said you would walk in when you were ready. He was very specific about that. He also said that if your mother ever showed up here 3 times, it meant she was about to do something cruel to you. Something direct. He looked at me carefully. You walked in this morning, Miss Farrell. I take it she tried something direct. I did not answer. He did not push. He turned the last page. An owner's title insurance policy from Pioneer Title, paid in full on August 9, 2016, for a premium of $1,560. This protects your title against any defect or undisclosed claim. If anyone, including family, tries to contest your ownership, Pioneer covers your legal defense costs. He pulled out one more page and slid it toward me. An asset summary. A list of everything I now owned. Real property, 818 Cherry Bend Road. Approximate market value, $340,000. POD account, Northern Trust, $86,000. Cabinetry equipment and lathe, $28,000. 2008 Ford F-150 pickup truck, $11,000. Total, approximately $465,000.